Cody, I think we should start with a toast. Congratulations.
Thank you, Johnny.
Let's drink some whiskey.
Let's drink some whiskey.
Tonight you achieved what they call in soccer a hat trick.
Oh, yes.
Winning 3 awards: best line, full throttle, best male performance. Let's talk about. I want to go through each one. Let's start with full throttle. That was Shane McConkey's favorite award. Shane McConkey is somebody who is near and dear to you. Tell me what it means to win that award.
I mean, yeah, with Shane, he was the first guy, one of the first ski movies I ever watched, actually, after Scott Schmidt. One of the first movies I ever watched, and I was just like, well, that guy has it. That guy has got life figured out. And I think it was from that moment on, being 13 years old, going that's who I want to be. Not exactly him, but I need to be that stoked and that creative and that just amazing at life. And I'll never be able to catch up with that. But just having a slimmer of that and having him say oh, that's my favorite award, and getting into that, wow. I mean, that's kind of like a childhood dream fulfilled.
I think he'd be pretty proud of you tonight.
I would hope so. Yeah, he'd probably actually fart on me and do something stupid and make a challenge, and then we'd be drinking
Drink some Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'd be chugging something stupid and have a bellyache later, but it would be fun.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, award number 2. Let's talk about that line, because I watched that and I know you, but I think I would have felt this way about anybody. I got so nervous just watching that. I was like, no, Cody, I don't think that's safe. And we get comments on powder.com all the time when we've posted your remix that MSP put together for us. Oh my God, that line! It was so far and away the best line. That was one of the easiest award choices of the night. Talk to me about what it looked like, what it felt like, and how you found it, and the preparation for it.
Well, if you look, the backstory to that line actually goes almost 4 to 5 years. Because, we often ski, we're looking for faces with a lot of cliffs or spines and stuff like that. But couloirs, you almost have to go in an entirely different zone. You have to go maybe so far east from the ocean that there's less snow and you get couloirs. And so it was actually about 4 or 5 years ago, I was thinking, I'm man, I love doing straight lines. I would love to find the most incredible straight line, just geography wise, just to go find it and go ski it. And I kept that in my head. And it was actually a couple years ago that I found what I still consider to be the gnarliest straight line I've ever seen. And it wasn't that one.
Okay.
Which is, it's still out there. I'm not going to tell anyone where it is. Not because I don't want them to do it, because I want to do it. I don't want them to do it because it's so gnarly that it's just, don't do it. It's beyond risky. But went back out there, thought about it for 2 years. I just found it. I scoped it out. And I had photos of it. I'd look at them almost every week on my computer. And then I went back to the zone, saw it, was out. So I was like, I got to keep finding this. I got to keep finding something like this. And then ended up, it was in a zone I actually flew by multiple times before. I'd probably flown in the heli 5 times past this. I'd been in the same zone with Chris Davenport 6 years previous. Hadn't even seen it. And it was just this weird little sliver. And all of a sudden it caught my eye. And I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, I think this goes. And, since there was 5 years that went into it, actually skiing it wasn't that hard. It didn't feel, I felt like I was so prepared for it. And so there's so much thought. And so I'd skied it 1,000 times in my head that, it felt like it was meant to be.
What was the snow like in there?
Snow was not very good. No, the snow was actually pretty poor. It was actually the first line I was not very nervous in up top, but as I got midway through, I got really nervous because it was kind of all of a sudden wait, this is really scary. This is really long, really steep, and really narrow. And the snow is not that good. So ended up, obviously working out pretty well, but for a little bit, I was definitely a little nervous halfway through.
Let's talk about the third award, Best Male Performance. It's a massive honor. Talk about the work that goes into that, because you're all over the place in MSP's film this year. That clearly takes a ton of work. And I love that that movie showcases so many different types of skiing of yours too.
Yeah, the Best Male Performance, it's something I've never skied in my life to try and win an award, and never skied like trying to like, oh, like I could be a complete skier. Like I've always skied like in many ways I've probably done the wrong thing if I wanted to create like a good financial situation for my family or something like that, but I've always just kind of followed what I wanted to do. And so many things that went into it this year, it's like it was just all because that's what I thought was going to be the most fun, and to win it, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of unexplainable. I never in my life had ever even dreamed of being up there on that stage. So I'm pretty shocked, as you can tell.
One of my favorite moments of that movie is actually when you fall. No offense.
Yeah.
But I love that the film shows that, because it just shows how much fun you're having. It's like, oh, Cody did not make that. Like,
Totally, which is all part of it, which I think was the great thing about that movie, and the great thing about like highlighting that kind of stuff is like,
yeah.
we're just real people. We're the exact same skier as your average intermediate skier. We're just out there having fun.
Yeah.
Like, and I've always said the best skier on the mountain is the guy having the most fun. So, you know, if you're not laughing and you're not having fun, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Well, that has always come through in your skiing, and especially this year. And I'm really excited and proud that that shows in the awards that you won tonight. So congrats. Not only did you win 3 awards tonight, but the San Francisco Giants won a World Series this year. It's been a hell of a year, Cody.
The 2014 even year has been a great year. I had Giants win. You know, my Niners aren't doing so hot, but the Giants win, and you know, I had a really fun year, and it's been a really fun night. And thank you, JCD.
Well, let's do this again soon.
Sounds great.
Congrats, buddy.